What's going on, YouTube? Thank you for checking out this new episode of Restorations with Vic. What I have on my desk today are these 2010 UNC 9s. I still remember when these came out when I was in high school. I picked these up on eBay a few weeks back for a great price, and I'm barely checking them out just now. Before this video got started, I was checking out the shoe, inspecting it, seeing what's wrong with it, and I put my hand inside the shoe and there was a note. Let's go ahead and check out what's on that note. What's up, Vic? Love your work. So I got these on eBay, like I said. I don't know the guy. I thought this was super awesome. The guy knows my work. He knew I ordered them. So I thought this was pretty sick. Just wanted to share that with you guys real quick. I'll get that frame later. So for this shoe, obviously, they're super trash. That's how I like them. That's how I buy them. As you can see, the shoe needs a lot of work. The soles, for one, are super yellowed. They're run down like crazy. The midsoles need a repaint. I've only done one pair of 9s on YouTube, and that's because they're such a pain in the ass to repaint. As you can see, there's just so many teeth. The tape job's a little tricky, but it's not too bad. Once the midsoles are done, we'll work on the uppers. A lot of these scratches, like always. No separation anywhere on the shoe. Hopefully when I put them in the washing machine, that doesn't change. So let's get started. But before I get started, I do want to mention we are super close to hitting 1 million subscribers, guys. It's almost the end of the year. Please help us get there. If we get to 1 million subscribers before the end of the year, we will be giving away a pair of Red Octobers in your guys' size. Please help us get there. So now let's get started. So for before and after purposes, we're gonna put this shoe to the side. Remove the shoelaces. Pop in our adjustable Rejuvenator shoe tree to size. All right, we're all prepped and ready to go. For this cleaning, we're gonna be using Rejuvenator's 3-brush advanced single laundry system, as well as our brass bristle brush and our detergent. We're gonna start off by grabbing our solution and our bowl and just squeezing a couple of squirts. The first brush we're gonna wanna use is our soft bristle brush to start breaking up the dirt on the uppers. All right, so we have the uppers fully soaked up. We're gonna let the suds sit on the uppers for a while so I can break down that dirt. Using the soft bristle brush, we're gonna go inside of the shoe, get these sock liners really clean. So you can see they're really dingy and dirty. Has a bit of an odor like most of these used shoes always do. Once we're done with the sock liners, we'll move on to the next brush. All right, I think insides are good. I did a lot of scrubbing. Now let's go ahead and go back to the uppers using the medium all-purpose brush to really get those deep stains and get the stitching all over the uppers back to white. All right, guys, I think we're all done with the medium all-purpose brush. Uppers look good. I don't see any stains anywhere on the shoe. I also went ahead and took care of the midsole using this brush. So now on to the last two brushes, which is the stiff bristle and the brass bristle. We'll start off with the stiff bristle brush on the soles. There's a good chance not all the grime is gonna come out. That's where the brass bristle comes in place. It looks pretty good. Check it out. Just using the stiff bristle brush. For the sides, we're gonna be using the brass bristle. I like using the brass bristle a lot more for the sides because you have more control with this brush. As you can see, the sole on the sides is very thin and very small. That's why I like using this brush. All right, so that's about it for the pre-treatment. That's as clean as it's gonna get. All the damage I see right now is damage that I'll fix later on in the video. It's scratches and yellowing that's not gonna come out with a cleaning. So before I could put the shoe inside, our sneaker laundry bag, I gotta clean up this dirty insole and pre-treat this shoelace. That's how you clean an insole. Vámonos. You already know what time it is, guys. Washing machine. Let's go ahead and put the 9 inside. Small cycle as always, since we're only cleaning one shoe with cold water. And of course, in order to get the shoe clean, we're gonna need some sneaker laundry detergent. Yeah. Get every drop in there. Shoes are good to go, guys, fully clean and dried. They smell good, they smell like detergent. The creasing's out, as you can see, thanks to the shoe tree. Overall, they look good. It's a clean base. Now we're ready to get to work. The next thing we're gonna do is remove the yellowing off the sole using Salon Care 40, some Ram Wrap, and my indoor setup. Alright, that didn't take very long. It took me about 30 minutes on each side to remove the yellowing completely in my indoor setup. Looks good. Let's move on to the next step, which is a lot of prep work. We're gonna start off with the midsoles. For these midsoles, the paint is like a latex material. So if I use acetone, I'm gonna take forever to try to strip that paint. So my next best bet is using Dad's Yeezy spray. This shoe isn't too old, so there will be no damage done to the midsole whatsoever. First step I gotta do though is do some taping on the uppers. Forget a shake. Paint is fully stripped all around the midsole. Took a little while, but Dad's Yeezy spray is the best and most efficient way to get this paint off. It's a very latex, rubbery type of paint. If you use acetone, you're just gonna kind of be rubbing on the surface of the paint, not really peeling it off, if that makes sense. So use Dad's Yeezy spray if you're trying to strip these 9s. So while we're doing some prep, we're gonna continue doing some more prep onto the uppers. First, I gotta remove the tape and start working on these deep scratches on the uppers. For that step, we're gonna do some sanding. So for the uppers, we have some really deep scratches on the toe box area and the side panels. For that to get it as smooth as possible before we can repaint, we have to wet sand it. Using some 1200 grit sandpaper, we're gonna dip it in water, nicely rub in a circular motion back and forth, whatever you wanna do. One thing you do wanna watch out for is the stitching. If you sand on the stitching, it becomes very frayed and it gets damaged, and you can tell when it gets damaged. So when you go in and paint over that stitching that's frayed, it looks really sloppy. So be careful for those areas. Really simple. Once we're done sanding all the scratches all over the uppers, we're gonna go in with acetone and cotton balls to finish the prep, and then we'll get started painting. That's as smooth as it's gonna get. I did about an hour worth of sanding. So now we have to prep the uppers using some acetone and cotton balls. While we're at it, we're also gonna go ahead and prep this area right here. I didn't notice earlier, but it did separate in the washing machine. No worries, super easy fix. So we'll go in with acetone and cotton balls, remove the old glue, and then apply some new glue and make it look all better. All right, fully prepped. Let's go ahead and do some taping. The taping so we don't get any glue on the uppers. This is real quick. So when you're using the bar cement, this stuff is really easy to use. After I'm done taping, I'm gonna apply a thin coat on the midsole and the upper, let it cure for about 7 minutes, then grab a heat gun, heat it up, and then clamp it together. Super easy to do. All right, all taped up. As soon as I apply the glue, I'm gonna rip off the tape right away, because if I let the glue dry with the tape, what's gonna happen is when I remove the tape, it's gonna rip off that thin layer of glue that I applied on the upper. So make sure you remove the tape right away. On to some fun stuff. We have the midsole fully prepped, the separation fully glued, and the uppers fully prepped, sanded, and acetoned. Let's lay down some paint. For the white paint, we're gonna be laying down this white paint, of course, that's been toned down with a little bit of mist gray and a little bit of cream, a couple of drops from each paint, just to tone down the brightness of the white. We'll be laying it down with an angular brush. All done with the white, guys. For this shoe, I had to go in and paint the entire upper, leather cut and stitching included. It looks a lot better this way. If I would have left it as is without painting the leather cut, it would have looked dirty still. It would have looked old. I didn't want that. But what I did do after I painted the upper white, I went in with a thumbtack and literally went in between each stitch and poked a hole through it just like this, to get rid of some of the paint clogs that was all over the stitching. This gives it a nicer look, a much cleaner, professional look. It goes a long way if you guys are painting the upper of any shoe all white and you guys get a lot of paint on the stitching. Go back with a thumbtack and it'll make this job a lot cleaner. So let's go ahead and finish up this restoration, guys, by moving on to the midsole. Once again, I gotta do some taping. For the teeth area on both sides, you're gonna need to use little tiny pieces of tape to get that perfect tape job all around those little curves. Time consuming, but it's well worth it if you wanna get a nice, perfect midsole repaint. Now, for the color, as you see right here, consisted of these 5 colors: light blue, pale blue, light gray, lilac, and cream. It was a complicated mix, honestly. I wasn't really paying attention at the ratios. I know I started off with the light blue, add a little cream. Lilac's a trick. You're gonna need this color to get that perfect match. Just mess around with those colors. We're gonna lay it down using an angular brush. All right, that looks solid. Took about 3 coats to get it to this point. All around, looks good. Let's go ahead and spray with some Krylon Crystal Clear finish. This original midsole originally had a glossy finish, so that's what we're gonna give it. But first, we gotta tape off the uppers with some paper towels. That way we don't get any of that glossy finish on the uppers. All right, guys, that is gonna bring us to an end on this full restoration on these UNC Powder 9 Blues from 2010. As you can see, there is a clear before and after on this shoe. There was a lot of work that went into it, believe it or not. The main thing was the uppers, a lot of sanding. That was the best part about this restoration. I got the leather as super smooth, better than I expected, honestly, and that's all thanks to the wet sanding technique. So let's go ahead and break down exactly what I did for this restoration. The very first thing I did was give this shoe an A1 cleaning using Rejuvenator's 3-brush advanced decoloring system, as well as our detergent and brass bristle brush. All 4 brushes was needed to get this shoe as clean as it is now. I used a stiff bristle brush for the soles, the brass bristle for the tougher stains on the soles, the suede brush for the insides of the shoe like the sock liner and tongue, medium all-purpose for the leather uppers, and used our detergent and laundry bag and put them in the washing machine to get all that grime, all the dirt that was deep inside the shoe out. Once that was all fully done, I removed the yellowing off the sole, re-glued this area right here, and did a lot of prep work on the shoe. Getting rid of the paint was super easy thanks to the adhesive spray. Did a lot of sanding, like I said, on the uppers, and that's how I got the shoe looking like this. You can find all our products you see right here at rejuvenator.com. Use my promo code in the description below. Also, let me know in the comment section below what kind of restorations you want to see me do. I have a lot of different stuff coming in from eBay that are non-Jordan related. I have some Air Maxes. Actually, I'm not even gonna spoil it. Just let me know in the comment section below what you all want to see. This is Vick Almighty, guys. See you guys next Monday.